shoulders up, back, and down a couple times. Loosening up. Let's give it a wide stance. Get a little movement with that. Bigger circles, big arms. Doesn't have to be anything fast at this point. We're just kind of stretching out, and then we're going to reach up and over, and reach up and over. Dynamic movement here. The last two. The last one. We're going to roll those shoulders back and down again, and we're going to pick up our weights. We're going to simply start a little step touch. We're going to turn our thumbs up, and we're going to lift, nice little easy, not too fast, small range of motion. Arms are in a slight V. Should feel this in your shoulders. Good. 4, because I hope you're feeling them. 3, 2, drop that down, roll those shoulders. And then we're going to pick up that pace a little bit and just kind of match your arms to your legs. Then we're going to turn that same into a lift, knee lift. We're going to bring our hands here, press it up. Now you have two options, small or just every other leg, which means, for instance, with me, it'll be every time my right knee lifts, I'm pressing up. See if you can remember, if you're choosing to do this slower range instead of the small one every knee, remember which knee is doing it. Hopefully your shoulders are feeling this by now, and they come down. Knee, knee. Good. Arms up here. We're going to start twisting with that knee lift. Good. Again, some shoulder work, because your elbows are up nice and high. Hey, good morning. Good. Hands down. Woo. Shoulders roll. Let's take that to a hamstring curl. Turn your palms to face me. Bend your elbows a little bit. Straighten. Straighten. Again, I'm just doing this on one leg. Press. Tricep extension. Palms are facing the front. If she goes in that fireplace, you guys let me know. Oh, I changed my arms, didn't I? Last two. Last one. All right. Knees up. Hands back. All right. We're going to switch it up. If you did small range of motion, you just keep doing that. If you did big, you're going to do it on the opposite leg. Just to mess with our heads. So our shoulders are going to be pretty done by the end of this. And all we have left to do with the shoulders is some posture work. Good. We're going to bring those arms down. And then we're going to bend them to about midway. And we're going to go back to that twist. And then we're going to go to our hamstring curl. Palms face the front. And again, we're going to extend every other leg. This is not about the bend coming forward. It's about the straight arm in the back. Last two. Last one. All right, set your weights off to the side. We're going to continue that warm up just a little bit. Ooh, roll those shoulders out. Hopefully they need it. We're going to just step touch here. We're going to start swinging our arms. In a moment, we're going to take 2 steps to the right in 4, 3, 2 steps right. I have weird music going. They haven't quite picked up the beat yet. Here we go. All right. We're going to stay centered, sorry. We're going to point those toes and press in front. Little chest press. Good. Arms are here. We're going to squeeze back, knee lift. Good. We're going to up and over. We're going to cross that knee. In a moment, we'll stay on the right knee and double time it. 4, 3, here we go. 4, 3, 2, 1, step touch. Shoulder rolls. Swing those arms. 2 steps left in 4, 3, 2. You can make it a little jaunty, a little hop in the middle if you want. We're going to leave it here this time. Step touch only. Little bicep curl, toes point forward. Squeeze back. Let's go to that knee lift. Start to angle, lift it up and over. Knee across. And again, in a moment, we'll stay on that left. And 4, 3, double time left. And relax. Woo! We're going to walk into a wide stance, pull our abs in, bend our knees, find this flat spine, and then round it into a kitty cat stretch and extend it into a cow. Tucking your cat, extending your cow. From there, drop that right shoulder and look up over the left. And then left shoulder and look over your right, please. Then we're just going to alternate side to side. Good, bringing it up. Woo, big deep breath in. All we're going to do right now, take those palms towards the ceiling, open your arms, squeeze them back, let those ribs pop. Give me a little squeeze of those shoulders, getting a nice chest stretch here, and then shake that out. All right, so let's start with just your weights in your hands. And we're going to start with our wide plie, whatever is comfortable for you. Toes are turned out, knees are turned out, abs are in, tailbone is long. Just going to start like this, pressing into your heels. And rather than scooting your booty back like a squat, you're coming down. Good. We're going to add on by lifting the heels when you come up, getting a more quad action. If you want, you can leave the heels lifted the whole time. Now you're going to see how that works out when you add a little balance or a little arm work. Palms are facing front. We're doing a baby bicep curl, but we're going to start bringing the arms up as we do that. Woo. Then we're going to bring back down, small range, and then we'll bring it back up. And you decide whether you're doing the leg thing or not. You keep your heels down if you need to. Well, now I'm doing weird stuff with my lower body. But I have a little brain fog today, and I apologize. So whatever you're doing this time. All right, let's bring that down. Roll those shoulders up, out, and down. And we're going to step right back into that plie. We're going to rest these weights on our shoulders. You're not holding the weights, you're holding them in place. We go up in that strong plie. We slide down that imaginary wall and we press up. So I'm staying up on my toes this time. If that feels like too much, you can come down on your heels or alternate. Give your booty a little squeeze as you come up. Feel this in your quads, feel it in your glutes. Little bonus since we have those weights on the shoulders. 4, 3. If you have osteoporosis and you're thinking, I don't know if this is good for my compression, arms to the side, that's fine. Now I tell you, last one. Bring that up. All right. Grab your ball, grab your chair, please. You need a chair if I didn't say that. Okay, weights are gonna go in the chair for now. I'm gonna start simply with the ball between those quads. Your feet are gonna be parallel, not letting the ball dictate where the feet are. So squeeze in, so my ball kind of looks like a teardrop shape. And then we're gonna go up on those toes again. We're gonna bend our knees forward so we can travel down an imaginary wall, and we're squeezing the ball as hard as we can and up. So we go down and squeeze it and up. Down and squeeze and up. Good, knees coming forward. Two more. Come down, hold that ball. Squeeze, 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 pulsing in, squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Four, three, two, and one. So again, hopefully you felt that in your inner thighs as well as quads. We're gonna bring that ball down between our ankles, above your ankles. We're gonna roll up on our toes. We're just gonna do a little calf work here. So that ball just gives us that awareness though of keeping everything lifted in your legs, not letting those arches drop in, right? Notice what you're doing with the chair. Are you cranking on it? Do you even need it? Maybe you don't need it. Last two like this. Last one we hold at the top, and we're going to try and pulse. Pulse. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down. You will want your chair now. Bring your left leg in front, and it's off the ground. So only my right foot is on the ground. If that confuses you, roll the ball a little higher and lift that leg. And now we go up on that right leg and down. So single leg calf raise, and you should definitely feel that more. Good. Just two more. Very nice. Now I'm going to stay here because this is simple enough to switch weight, but you may want to move your chair so that your other hand is the one gripping. Doesn't matter. Right leg is off the ground this time, and only the left leg is doing that calf raise. Good, last two. Last one, and then we're gonna come down. All right, so now we're gonna do some work with both the weight and the ball. You'll need your chair for balance. Bring that ball behind your right leg. Take that right leg behind you a little bit so it's not in front of the left knee, and then bend the left knee. When I bend the left knee, it takes some of this booty up out of the picture. And then we're going to go ahead and lean forward. I don't want you rounded. I want you extended as you can get. But you can rest for now, for a moment. Lift that right leg as high as you can without straightening the left knee. Squeeze long, hamstring curl. All right, and then as promised, here comes some posture work. Squeeze the ball, hold it in place, weight in your right hand, lift the elbow and the heel to the sky. Lift and press, keep your left knee bent, try not to straighten it. So I'm lifting the leg and the arm at the same time. I hope you're feeling these. Very nice. We're going to take a quick break. We are not quite done on that side, however. And we're going to let that right leg cross the left. Stick the booty out for a moment. Roll it under, cross the leg, and arch to the left. All right, right back, same position, darn it. So here we are. Extend, and that weight is in that right hand again. Palm is facing the ceiling this time. Bend and straighten, little tricep extension. Point your toe, poke a hole in the ceiling. 2 more. Bring it up. Stand here. Listen up. Knees together. We are doing one more shoulder, I lied. This is your shoulder work. Elbow leads the way. Arm matches. Flex through the heel. Keep that ball where it is. Make sure your knee didn't sneak in front. Leave it up here. Give me a little squeeze and pulse. Pull back. And relax. Woo, now we get to stretch that side for real. So right ankle across the left leg. Knee out. Roll it under. Stick it out again. And then we'll cross up and over. Very nice. All right. We are moving to the other side. I'm going to move all of my equipment. You can just switch legs. That way, facing front. All right. Fall behind the left knee to start with. Get it behind the right knee and make sure your booty's not sticking out. Pull your abs in, but then we're going to hinge. And at first, you get to come up and just give me that hamstring curl. So heel to hip. And then as you're ready, grab that weight in your left hand and we lift the arm and the heel. Keep that right knee bent for me, please. And we get a quick break here. Left ankle crosses that right thigh. Stick that booty up and out. Roll it under, stick it out again. Roll it under and cross, and we arch. And then we go right back in that same position, ball behind the left leg, right knee's bent. Palm is facing the ceiling, point the toe. We're going to bend and straighten the left arm and lift the toe towards the sky. And we're going to bring that up. We're going to stand nice and tall. And both are going to flare to the side, leading with the elbow, out of shoulders, deltoid muscle. Almost there. And bring all that down. Woo. Let's cross that left over right. Stick your booty out. Round it under. And stick it out. And then put the foot on the ground and we'll arch the back. Very nice. All right. We can bring that ball between the thighs again. All right. We're going to, once again, slide down that imaginary wall. Tailbone is long, abs are in. From here, I want you to shoot your arms forward and straighten them. Your body's going to want to, go out of alignment. So do your best to keep that alignment. So we're serving that platter, right? We're squeezing that ball. You want the balance, you can be up on your toes, but it's kind of challenging when your arms shoot forward. 2 more like this, and then we leave our arms straight. So if I see a little bend in your elbow, I want you to take that away. Take it away. Now from here, straighten it more, straighten it more, straight, straight. If you want to add a squeeze on the ball, just to add extra love, do so. And relax. I hope you needed that relaxation. I did. All right, weights are coming down for a moment. We're going to use our chair for a tricep push-up. So we're going to take that ball between our shins just for engagement. We're going to bring our hands to the edges of the chair. And then we need to walk back and find a plank. So this is booty out, this is booty sag. Find yourself with your shoulders right above your hands, shoulders out of your ears. Bend your elbows backwards and straighten. Abs in, tailbone under. Hopefully you guys felt those. Shake it out, bring it up. Take your right arm to your right shoulder and pull back. Hand goes to the center of your spine and then to your left. We'll do the same thing, left arm to the left, press it back, and center, and to your right. Very nice. All righty. We're gonna come up, sorry. Okay. So we did more standing work, and then we get to take this love to the ground. All right, so kind of simple here, maybe. Bring that ball behind your right leg again. But the challenge is this time, sorry, I'm gonna be facing the chair, but my weight is gonna be in my left hand now. All right, so now we're gonna kind of have to counterbalance a little bit. Let's come down to here. And what I want you to think about is that leg going towards the left, right? So the ball is behind my right leg, but it's moving to the left, and it's as high as I can get it. Left arm is going to dangle. And all you're going to do is a little baby bicep curl as the foot comes to the left. Hopefully you guys can see this. But let's, just two more. Stand it up, glue your knees together. That's going to be important. Hamstring curl here. Whew. Make sure your booty's not out. I think mine was. Squeeze. And bring it down. Whew. I'm going to stay on this side so you can see my arm this side. Bring that ball behind your left leg. Come forward. Right arm is here, palm facing up. All right, so we're going to slide that knee. Make sure your right knee is bent. We're going to slide that leg to the right. We're going to add a little bicep curl. Spine is long, try not to round and drop. Two more. Now we stand it up, knees glue, right leg is straight, hamstring curl. And that's more of those little skinny medial hamstrings. Booty under. And relax. All righty. You will not need your chair anymore. You'll need your ball and your weights. And we're going to head down to the ground, please. So, let's get the evil stuff out of the way. We're going to sit up on that ball, and it can either be centered underneath you or slightly under your left glute, excuse me. Your right leg is out to the side, not straight ahead, not way out to the side. And all we want to do is rotate so the inner thigh is facing the ceiling. Now, I'm going to give you a little option here, two little options. Put one weight on your left side, and if you start to round, you can kind of press into it. Might give you a little feedback there. And your last option is, if you wanted to, you could put the other weight right below your knee. But you might want to start without it and see how that goes. All right, sitting up nice and tall, leg off the ground. We've done it before. We're pointing and reflexing. The good news is it's a short set. Point, flex, point, lift, 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 and lift. Flex, lift, 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 and lift. Point, bend, stretch, 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 and stretch, flex, push, 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 and push. Hopefully your thighs felt that, your quads, maybe even your VMO. And now we're going to shift. We're going to bring that right leg in, left leg slightly off to the side, but what's important is to get that rotation open. Lift it off the ground. We're going to point and flex, and point and flex, point and flex. We're going to leave it pointed and lift, 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 flex and lift. Point and bend, stretch, 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 and stretch, flex, press, 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 and press. Well, we're done with that. That's the really good news. All right, we're going to do a little booty work from a bridge position, and then one last little bit of love there. So as you lie down, we're just going to go for this. We're going to put the ball underneath both feet. Now you have some options. Rolling it back will be a typical bridge. Rolling it forward and pressing the heels into the ground, you're going to feel it a little more in your glutes. So as you're ready, deep breath in, exhale, belly button to the spine, and lift into that bridge. Now that ball might be wobbly, and if it is, test out. Could you lift an arm, or maybe not? Maybe you can lift both arms and just see how that is. That's all I'm asking you to do right now. If you want to get one last little bit of hamstring work, you could roll that ball in and out. Whoopee. And then relax. And now the tougher version, we're going to roll that ball underneath the left foot, right foot's on the ground. So the easiest thing you could do would just be to roll that ball in and out, but you need more than that, I'm sure. So lift your hips up. Again, you could roll in and out, or you could have your hands roll in and out or lift and lower, but most challenging would then be to lift that right leg up in the air. And then you can lift and lower, you could roll forward and back, you decide, or you can just hold this, because we're not going to be here for a really long time. And down. Roll that ball underneath your right leg, please, right foot. And again, roll in and out without your hands, lift and lower. And finally, of course, most challenging is the left leg up in the air. Lift lower if you want, in and out if you want, or just hold. And down. Ooh, I hope you guys felt those. All right, I promised one last little bit of annoyance. So we've done quite a bit with the outer hip already, so this is the last one. We're going to bring that ball behind the right leg. We're going to secure it by bringing that heel close to your hip. Option to be on your elbows or stay on your wrists, you can decide. You're going to lift that leg up, you're going to cross it over the left, come back up, and we're going to flare it open. So we center, cross, back, and up. Center, cross, up, flare. So we cross, we come center, and then we fire hydrant. Good, just two more. Is that two? And relax. Let's just get that other side done. I promise we'll stretch out those hips well today. All right, so ball is behind the left leg, heel is close to the hip. We're going to lift it up. We're going to crisscross behind, come back to center, flare it, center, cross, center, flare. And we cross, center it, flare it open, center, cross. Good, last two. And relax. You can shift those hips a little bit side to side if that would feel good. All right, and now we're going to bring that ball as we lie down right between our shoulder blades. Terry, you may want to bring it a little bit higher towards your head so you're not feeling as if you have to on your neck, nor drop it back. Okay? So we're just going to bring our fingertips to the edges of our skull. We're going to let the elbows drop open and feel a nice stretch across the chest, but keep your chin knotted in that yes position.
From there, with the chin still nodding yes, allow your head to drop back in a straight line, not lifting the chin. And then exhale, press into the ball to lift up a little bit. Inhale, up and over, exhale to press. Inhale, up and over, exhale to press. Now, I'm going to give you guys an option this time, two options. The first one is to simply cross the wrist, cradle your head, but don't forget the up and over part. And if you really want to add kind of a big challenge, you'll do that, but you'll have a weight in your hand. And I think you might notice how you go up and over and you go, I have to close this down. I have to close this down. You might find that extra resistance. If this is uncomfortable on your neck, roll forward a little bit, let your head rest on the neck. Very similar, right? You still feel how those ribs want to pop up, but you're in control of not letting them do so, right? And you keep the arms squeezed by the ears, and we're just doing two more, whatever, wherever you are. And then pull that ball out from under you, please. Good news. All right. You're gonna let that ball rest either in the valley of your abdominals or maybe on your rib cage. So you decide. Again, I have a really very inflated wobbly ball. So just do your best to lift your legs into tabletop, but keep the ball settled in either your ribs or your belly button, and then you're going to toe touch. This can be a double leg toe touch as I'm doing. It could be a single leg heel tap. It could be a single leg toe point. It could be a double leg heel tap. You could even do your little froggy position with those knees apart. And you're just doing your best to keep stability in your abs while your legs move away from your body. And don't forget, this is about moving the quad forward and away from your abs. So you're increasing the angle right here at your thigh and your hip. It's not just dropping your toe down on the ground. All right, and then come on back, and we're gonna take that ball and we're gonna put it between our ankles. We're gonna lift our legs back into tabletop, so knees above your hips. Deep breath in. We're gonna exhale to float the head, neck, and shoulders off the ground. On the inhale, we'll extend the arms and the legs, double leg stretch, and then tap and extend. Now I'm gonna give you some options on this double leg stretch. You could hand the ball off between your arms and your legs, but here's the catch. You don't get to bring your knees in and hand it off like that. You have to bring yourself up to hand it off, right? So they only come as far as tabletop. If you want one more challenge that's similar, you're going to put the ball on your kneecaps and roll it up, but only as far as you can go without flinging your body, and then come back down, and we still extend, right? You roll it up part way, back and down, etc. So you've got quite a few options for this double leg stretch right now. And then we're going to come down. We're going to put the right foot on the ground. We're going to bring the left leg into perfect tabletop. We're going to put the ball between the thigh and your hands. And you're going to press as hard as you can, smashing the ball by equally bringing your thigh in, equally pressing your hands away, but there's no movement, right? They both stay right there. And then adding on if you want, right leg is up, and then you exhale and reach into your single leg stretch, but keep this knee right above your hip, pressing, pressing. Inhale, we're gonna come back down. We're gonna bring that ball up against your right leg. You're gonna press, back of the neck is long. Option to bring that left leg up, and we reach. All right, we're going to do that with the breath. So both legs tabletop. We're going to exhale, press through the right leg, but really push against the left. And press, and press, and press, and press. Keep going, pushing and smashing that ball. Keep it going. Nice, precise movements. 4, 3, 2, and 1. I hope you guys felt those quite a bit. All right, now we're going to bring that ball behind our knees for just a second, take a little rock side to side, and then our feet go down and we bridge up so we can roll that ball underneath our tailbone. Not underneath your low back, right? It's down where your glutes are, and then hands are on the ground. Deep breath in, lift one leg and then the other, and you're finding tabletop here, so it won't be out here with those ribs up. Ribs are connected to the hips, back of the neck is long. We are going to do that toe touch again, but you don't want to touch your toes all the way to the ground because you are already, on this elevation, right? So that would put you into extension. And as always, it can be toes pointed, it can be heels flexed, you can do both legs at the same time. You just don't want to pop your ribs and let that low back lift up. And when you come back up, do it nice and slowly with control. And we'll keep that going. Back of the neck long, chin is tucked. And finally, if you want to bring your hands off the ground, you can find out, oh, whoa, that's interesting, right? That little extra balance effort that your little intrinsic muscles have to figure out. All right, and then we're going to bring that ball onto the fronts of our ankles. We're going to start rolling like a ball, exhaling to roll, inhaling to pause at the top. And when we get to the top, we'll put feet on the ground. We're going to bring that ball behind our tailbone, and we're going to find our weights again. So we're going to hinge back and feel nice and supported by the ball, right? So I don't want you to go up and over it and arch your spine, just to that point where you feel, that's awesome, that gives me some support. Then your hands are going to open into a T, and we're just going to take a little rotation side to side. So I'm not rounded into my spine, I'm using this ball to help support me on an angle. Then of course, if you want, you have a couple options. You could take that single weight and just trade it every time you come back to center. Or you could, of course, have one weight in each hand. And relax. We're going to roll up on that ball for spine stretch. So as you come up, you might even keep yourself a little towards the front. You don't want to roll off the back, but a little towards the front of the ball. Bend your knees, sit tall, grab your hamstrings. Flat back, exhale, hinge. And then maybe reach for your toes, or if you prefer, straighten out your legs. That was the ball, not me. Here's the cat. I'm teasing. Nutmeg, you are perfect. You would never. All right, back of the neck is long. And then roll on up. We're going to roll over. We're going to bring that ball with us. We're just going to go for it. We're going to do our planks with the ball. I am going to give you one option for each plank so that if you don't like the balance, you have that option. So let's prepare for side plank, shoulder back, lift up out of it, engage those lats. Lots of space between your ears and shoulders. Options, of course, to be on the sides of your thighs or straight legs, stacked or whatever. And then when you come up, put the ball where it barely touches you. And then think about indenting the ball and lifting off of it. Indenting and lifting, indent, lift, indent, lift. Make it a small, small, small range of motion. You may stick with that. If you want to try the balance, you'll put your lower leg on first, ankle, leave a lot of space for the foot of the top leg, and lift it up. And try and stay there. And when you're ready, whichever one you were doing, we're going to flip it over. So we'll give a nice little fold to that mat. We'll stack our hips and our legs. We'll press our shoulder back, lift up out of it, and we'll come up into our side plank. And if you so choose, just going to leave that ball there, and as if it's a little pet, you indent it. Well, don't indent your pet, just give it some love. When you're ready, you can stick with that, or you can try the balance. Bottom leg on first, lots of space for the top leg, and then you'll bring it up. So stick with whichever one you want for a couple more seconds. And when you are ready, you're meeting me on your abs. Ball is going to be out in front of you. And as always, when we do extensions or back work for our back, our toes are flat and pointed, kneecaps are lifted to engage the quads, and yet feet stay down. Hands on top of the ball, press down onto the ball to give yourself a little lift. Deep breath in, exhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together. It might lift you a little higher, and you'll feel this a little in your low back, but I want it mostly between your shoulder blades. Toes still on the ground, remember, and exhale down. Deep breath in, press your hands down, squeeze to lift up, hold at the top on an inhale, and exhale down. Deep breath in, exhale to press, squeeze on the inhale, hold, and exhale down. Deep breath in, exhale, press, squeeze, lift, and exhale down. 2 more, press, squeeze, lift, hold, and down last time, and lift. And then we're just gonna bring that ball back. We're gonna go into our shell stretch. And if you want, it's sometimes kind of nice to have the ball there so that you have a little extra gap, space behind your knee. Arms can be in front or by your sides. And then you're gonna come on up. And we're gonna roll over onto our spine and start a nice stretch. So we're gonna roll over and we're gonna hug both knees in with the ball behind them to start with. Roll them in and let them draw some nice circles on the ceiling. And we'll go both ways. And then we'll pause at center and bring that ball behind just the right knee while the left leg is on the ground, left foot's on the ground. Hug that knee in, feel the tailbone curl up. And then press that tailbone down. And then we'll hug that knee in again. We're gonna let the knee drop open, feel those inner thighs getting a stretch. And then you can roll that ball up that right leg if you want for a little deeper stretch. Maybe give that leg some rotations. And then as we come back to center, we'll squeeze it in again and straighten the left leg, flexing the foot. Once again, we're gonna bring the knee in, let the tailbone roll up, and then press the tailbone down. Keep the tailbone flat, but try and hug that knee a little closer, and that's gonna change your hamstring stretch. And then you're gonna flex the foot and roll the ball up, keep the foot flexed, and eventually straighten that leg, point and flex. Again, if you want some rotations, that's awesome. We're gonna bend the knee. We're gonna bring it slightly across to the left side of your body, getting a nice stretch through your outer hip. And then if you want, bring that leg all the way across into a twist. If that's too severe, you can let the ball rest under your knee to give you a little extra support. As you come back through center, we're gonna cross the ankle over the thigh. Here's that stretch I mentioned. We would get some outer hip stretch. Bring the ball behind your left leg for now. And press your right leg open. Flex through that heel. Maybe even give your foot a little love here. Nice little foot massage, why not? And then give me a little rock, and that should change that stretch. You can pull the knee towards you and press it away. You can play with those angles. And then finally, crisscross knee atop knee. And once again, we'll give that little rotation and we'll drop the knees to the left. Gently come on back through center. We're gonna uncross the right leg, and that ball is right where we need it to give some love to the left leg. So we'll circle a couple times, both directions, and then we'll let the knee drop open. Right knee drops, left leg, you can roll that ball up if you want, give it some flexing and pointing and rotation. And then we bend it in, come back through center, straighten the right leg, flex through the heel. Think about getting the back of the right knee towards the ground. Hug the left knee in, tailbone rolls up, and then tailbone presses down. And then we're gonna keep the tailbone down, but we're gonna bring the knee closer. And then finally, we're gonna roll that ball up, flex through the heel, and then straighten. Once again, maybe some pointing and flexing and circling. And then we'll bend, bring that left knee towards the right shoulder, and go into a full twist. And again, you can either leave the ball where it is or slide it out to give a little support to that knee. And then we come on back through center, but cross the foot. There we go. Ball goes behind the right knee this time. We're going to thread that needle, hold on to that ball, press that left leg open, get that hip stretch, pulling that knee closer, we'll deepen it, letting it move away, rock and roll, changing the angle on that stretch. And then finally, left leg crosses the right. And once again, we're going to twist to the right. And then nice and easy back through center. We're going to hug those knees in. You don't need your ball, so you can move it off to the side. You're going to make your way to your hands and knees, however makes sense to you. And we're going to start with our staggered cat-cow. So left hand forward and right knee forward. We're going to cow forward and cat back. Beautiful. We're going to switch it up. Right hand forward, left knee forward, cow and cat. Good. And then let's just do one nice square cat-cow. And then we'll bring our hands in front a little bit, tuck the toes, come into your high plank, press through those heels. And then let's press those heels out a little bit. Get a nice stretch through those ankles. And then wide stance, walk it on back, hang your head, nod yes and shake no. Bend your knees, hands on your thighs. We're going to exhale cat. We'll inhale cow. We'll put our weight into our heels, lift those toes, big deep breath in, curtsies. Thank you guys very much.